Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the Mindset Check podcast. I'm your host, Misha McKittrick. This is a podcast where I believe that as you take time for a mindset check, you have more power than you think you do. And where we also believe that bypassing doubt and limitations allows us to step into a big, bold life that is literally full of dreams maybe we haven't even checked into yet. That's what we're going to chat about today. I can't wait to dive in with you. Before we do, I just want to remind you that I have meditation collections available for you. In each collection, there's like 7-ish, okay, maybe anywhere from like 5 to 9 meditations available in each collection. Each collection focuses on a little something different. One of the collections focuses on gratitude and really cultivating and bringing gratitude forward in your life. Gratitude is literally the catalyst for overcoming negative emotions, welcoming abundance, and everything in between. So to have a meditation collection that is centered around helping you bring forward that emotion, I'm telling you guys, it's phenomenal. There's another collection that I have complete right now that's called Excitement, Feel Excitement. And these meditations are key to helping you shift the energy in your life to step forward into really living a life where you are so inspired, where you really can say, I am excited about, and you could just pontificate for like an hour about what you're excited about because you've dropped into that emotion so often in these meditations that are inside the collection. I also have a collection that's called Align Your Heart with Heavenly Father. And this is something that I found missing from the meditation space. And I really love dropping into this space with you and helping you align your heart with heaven to truly be able to fill it with love. And it's such a great way to recenter and to connect spiritually. So if you're interested in those meditations, then find yourself at My Friend Misha, and there's a little tab that says Meditate with Misha, and you can learn all about them there. And without further ado, let's jump into today's podcast. What holds you back from what you know is waiting for you? I want you just to try to name something. Just name one thing that you think actually holds you back. Like, is it doubt? Is it fear? Is it, just the unknowingness of it? Is it the lack of like feeling motivated or someone to kind of nudge you or believe in you? I want you just to pinpoint something. And maybe there's really big things in your life, or maybe it's just small things. Anything that is holding you back in any area of life. Because in this episode today, what I really want to dive into is to remind you that you can, and to help you step into the highest expression of what you are capable of doing in this life. Sometimes we just need a few tricks to help us bypass the limitations that we put on ourselves, right? Whether it's happening consciously or subconsciously. I love the quote that says, successful people have fear, successful people have doubts, and successful people have worries. They just don't let these feelings stop them. That's T. Harv Eker. Literally, it's like when you really sit back and you go, do I think that person that I really admire can just like do it? And yes, there is some like natural like things that people can lean into, but every single person has something that they need to push through. Every single person has limitations that come up, and we got to push through them. And sometimes that's simply believing in ourselves, right? Or getting in the game in a way that helps us to wake up to say, all right, I'm up to bat. Let's go. I'm playing. So the first thing that I really want to describe to you, and I hope that it lands because I'm describing you something that I watched with my eyeballs. And this is something that I saw on Instagram. It's just a little clip. And the research that I've done tells me it's from a movie called Skeleton Twins, something I've never seen. It is such a moving clip where it's this guy and he starts singing the song, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. So if you're a fan of the 80s, you probably know that song, right? Nothing's gonna stop us now. Whoa, whoa. Okay. I am sorry for what I just did to you. I'm not a singer, but I'm just trying to get you into the song so that you can understand what it is, that this vibe, right? That I'm kind of trying to portray to you. So what happens is he starts singing this song, and you can tell that this girl's sitting on the couch, and she kind of looks really reserved and maybe even like upset or resentful. She's just like, no, like, right? He's trying to get into this vibe, and she's like, And the best part about the clip are the labels that they have put over sort of the clip, right? The clip comes from the movie, and the movie isn't about your higher self and what I'm about to tell you, but they put these titles over it in this little clip that I saw on Instagram that is just phenomenal. The top of the title says, "When you stop listening to your inner critic and start living the love, fun-filled life you deserve." And then it shows that the guy that's singing, that's trying to kind of pull her out of her funk, it labels him as your higher self. And there's a part where he walks over and he shushes another guy, and it puts the label on him as inner critic. And the girl that's kind of sitting there stuck in the funk, it says me, right? So these are all just different versions. And the guy is trying to get this gal to like snap out of it. And if we think of it like it does in this video, it literally gives me chills that your higher self, this version of you that is really the most fulfilled version of you, what you can do, how you show up in life, all of these things, right? Your ultimate potential is like begging you to wake up and to get in the game. Some of the words that they then sing together says, "And we can build this thing together, standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us now. Nothing's going to stop us now." Oh, it's like a moment where you almost want to cry because you're having this moment with your own self where you know that there's that version of you that's saying, we can do better. We can step forward, and we have more to give. We have more heart, and it might not be more to give that it is exhausting your energy. No, it's the part of you that allows you to wake up and live, really, really live a life. That was such an inspiring clip, and I hope that I did it justice through words, through your ears and my mouth, to be able to help you understand that there is a part of you that is rooting for you and cheering for you, no matter who around you is cheering for you. There is that higher version of you who is consistently on your side. I love the quote that says, "Doubt kills more dreams than actual failure ever will." And how about this one from Hannah McCarty? It says, "It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not." Every single person has self-doubt. Every single person has limitations that they hurdle over, right? Or that they move through. And my hope is to give you a couple of sweet tactics today that I use on my own self, right? That literally help me so much. And the first one, and probably my favorite, is something that's called it's showtime. So you literally just snap your fingers and say, it's showtime, right? And for me, that works because it's like this part of me that's saying like, it's step up. It's time to act. It's time to move into what I have to give, what I have to share with others, right? And you can ask yourself all the questions like, if not me, who? Because you have unique talents and gifts, and you are the only one that can show up with your energy and your background and your talents. And quite frankly, you owe it to yourself to just show up, right? So the next time you find yourself faced with something that's kind of big that you're like, fear might be starting to creep in, or self-doubt might start, you're starting to kind of stutter, or even things that just feel like a lot. It's just really okay to just say, it's showtime and give yourself that little bit of a pep talk. Okay, the next little tactic that I want to share with you is called flick back to flick up. Lou Tice of the Pacific Institute in Seattle was a goal-setting guru. He taught visualizing emotions and the joy of reaching out to spark your goal setting. And so this is a technique that he taught in one of his trainings that he would do. And this is what he says. Did you know that you could borrow from the past to help create the future? Since the events from our past and how we feel about them have tremendous influence on our futures, we can take advantage of this to create success and improve our performance. There's a special technique developed that can help you do your best whenever you want to. It's called flick back, flick up, and it works like this. Let's say you're going to give a talk at some place unfamiliar. You're feeling a bit nervous. Mentally, you flick back to a triumphant situation in your past, a time when you did a good job and you felt really in control. Now, visualize that past situation and see yourself doing a great job with whatever's in front of you, right? You purposefully remember the good feelings attached to the past situation and how it felt to be poised, confident, and competent. Then you flick up to the future. You borrow those positive emotions and project them into the new situation. If you have plenty of time, do it over and over again, visualizing yourself in the room where you're going to give the talk, feeling poised, confident, and competent. The emotional satisfaction is key to bringing a past success into the present. It will help to write an affirmation for yourself, something like, whenever I give a talk in unfamiliar surroundings, I feel comfortable and I do a great job. Then when it's time to actually give the talk, it almost feels like deja vu. You've been there before, just in your mind. You can do this virtually with any situation. You can do it on the spot in just seconds if you have to. Throw yourself into the positive memory for a few moments and then flick it up to what you are about to do. Try it next time when the pressure is on. You'll be surprised at how well it works. It's brilliant. So, maybe giving talks is not something that you do. Maybe having hard conversations is something that is in front of, I think, every human being, right? So if we kind of generalize it and say, here we have like this example of giving a talk, it can apply to everything. It can apply to, something that you have to do that's kind of tough, or showing up at work a certain way, or, you're being faced with a trial, or whatever it is. You look back at a time when you've done something similar that you did well, and you allow yourself to imagine what's in front of you going well, like really well, the very best that it can. And the more that you picture it and borrow from those emotions, the more you embed that in you. And so there's like, it's like you're bypassing all of the fear of the unknown. Isn't it such a cool tactic? I love that one. Roy T. Bennett said, believe in your infinite potential. Your only limitations are those you set upon yourself. Believe in yourself, your abilities, and your own potential. Never let self-doubt hold you captive. I have one more tactic for you, and I like to call this your greatest hits. Have you ever heard the song Hall of Fame? Right? And it's like living in the Hall of Fame. I don't want to sing another song for you. Okay, but hopefully you know that song. It's a much more current song. Living in the Hall of Fame, right? And the world's going to know your name, right? All of that. And if you just picture yourself in this hallway with all of these accolades and the things that you've accomplished, that's like kind of like your greatest hits. The idea is reminding yourself of the coolest things that you've done, because it helps you to remember who you are and what you're capable of. So Sterling Sill, he wrote a book called The Majesty of Books. In his book, he says this philosophy of excellence was demonstrated by the artist Whistler, who once painted a tiny picture of a spray of roses. The artistry involved was magnificent. Never before, it seemed, had the art of man been able to execute quite so deftly a reproduction of the art of nature. The picture was the envy of the artists who saw it. the despair of the collectors who yearned to buy it for their collections. But Whistler refused steadfastly to sell it. "For," said he, "whenever I feel that my hand has lost its cunning, whenever I doubt my ability, I look at the little picture of the spray of roses and say to myself, Whistler, you painted that. Your hand drew it. Your imagination conceived the colors. Your skill put the roses on the canvas. Then," he said, "I know that what I have done, I can do again." Then he gave us a great philosophy of success. He said, "Hang on the walls of your mind the memory of your successes." This is where the Hall of Fame comes in, right? "Take counsel of your strength, not your weakness. Think of the good jobs you have done. Think of the times when you rose above your average level of performance and carried out an idea or a dream or a desire for which you had deeply longed. Hang these pictures on the walls of your mind and look at them as you travel the roadway of life." Tell me that's not beautiful. Wow, I love it. I love the way that he organizes the words as he tells us of this incredible tactic that we get to use. And by the way, Whistler is this incredible artist. This small spray of roses, I can imagine it was a small thing that he did that helped him do big, and bigger things. So that's the thing, is we sometimes think, well, I don't have anything that wonderful or that great. Remember, it was a small presentation or a small representation of what he was capable of doing. And obviously, as we improve and grow, the things that we do improve and grow. The things that surround us and inspire us of the things that we've even done in our life continue to improve. But it is completely phenomenal how we can borrow from the past or borrow on something that we've done in our life to help snap us into what we really are capable of, to remind ourselves, hey, you've got this. You can, right? How it really allows us to step into that higher version of who we really are, to remind us and cheer ourselves on. I love the quote that says, "Whenever you find yourself doubting how far you can go, just remember how far you have come. Remember everything you have faced, all the battles you have won, and all the fears you have overcome." I love also remembering that when we're getting a little bit uncomfortable with what we're trying to do, it's because we're pushing ourselves to the edge of maybe something that we've never done before. And it's also a signal that we're doing something right, because we can't grow if we don't go to the edge of where we've been before. And the reminder by Johann Wolfgang van Goethe, he says, doubt can only be removed by action. So the whole, it's showtime, right? That whole pep talk with yourself helps you move into action and helps you to be able just to be like, wait, doubt? What are you even talking about? We don't have time for doubt. We don't have time to stop and listen to doubt. Kurt Hahn said, "There is more to us than we know. If we can be made to see it, perhaps for the rest of our lives, we will be unwilling to settle for less. There exists within everyone a grand passion, an outlandish thirst for adventure, a desire to live boldly and vividly through the journey of life." And my friend, that is literally what I hope to remind you of today, that there is no settling, right? Stepping forward and living a life that feels really bold and full of adventure and really, really full. That is what I hope for you. And that does require you to step beyond your limitations. I hope that you can see these little tricks of borrowing from your past, reminding yourself of who you are and what you're capable of, and it's showtime, allowing yourself to step into action. I hope that these little tricks will help you see that you really do have more power than you think you do. All right, my friend, I hope that you really loved that episode and that you find something that can live with you, that you'll take and put in your back pocket, that really speaks to you and that will help you in your life. If you love this episode, chances are you can think of somebody else that would also love it. I would deeply appreciate it if you share it. Also, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review the Mindset Check podcast so that you don't miss future episodes by subscribing and also rating and reviewing it so that other people can find the podcast and join with us in our community here. Thank you for being the kind of person that shows up in this community, because the people who listen to this podcast are people who desire to grow, who desire, to continually improve upon their life. And for me, I feel very impressed by that desire, and I really love witnessing it in others. So I'm just really grateful that you're here and that you have that desire in your own heart as well. Before we go, I want to share with you one more quote that I absolutely love by Vincent van Gogh. He said, "If you hear a voice within you that says you cannot paint, then by all means paint, and that voice will be silenced." Until next time, my friend.